Hey, this is Dan
And Bob
from GigaBoots.com, and welcome to our quick play of BlazBlue Continuum Shift Extend.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think
more?
Delta Director's Cut
Cross
Edition.
Tekken?
Yes, Cross Tekken, X Tekken, X King of Fighters, X Cough. But yeah, in any case, let me real quick. Got a few new characters for this one. We have all the ones from Continuum Shift, all the DLC characters, boom, boom, and
Now those DLC characters now have a story, is that right?
that is correct, but we'll get into that later and I'll show that off.
Alright.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and show off
Who's the newest new guy?
Relius here. He's the
Alright.
newest new guy. He's Carl's dad, and they all have arcade and story mode proper, which they did not have in Continuum Shift normal. I must say, the Vita version of this has a bit longer of load times. Substantially longer load times than the PS3 counterpart.
That is kind of disappointing. You have this downloaded, right? You just-
Yes,
Okay.
it is on the 32 gig stick.
So we can't expect something better from...
Installing it or whatever. But yeah, check it out. Can't skip this, because it's not done loading. Which is something you can do when you install it on the PS3, and then it still loads.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty long.
Yeah, it is. Almost. Almost, and... it's not usually this severe in other modes.
Okay, because I was going to say, that's pretty bad. That's worse than Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so yeah, here's Relius. I haven't spent a whole lot of time as him, so forgive me as I noobify here.
I see he too has a puppet.
He too has one of them's, but his is a part of moves. They are not... It's not a character he's manipulating through the
Okay.
use of the drive button.
What does the drive button do for him, then?
Summons, to begin with, and then using the various movements, and then the drive button again, you can do different moves.
Huh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So it just summons the robot, it doesn't summon random things, right?
No, yeah,
Okay.
it's just the robot. Yeah, and as you can see, different moves will like summon her in different places.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm not good as Relius. I apologize to people who tuned in for the Relius show. I am a Tager guy.
Well, Relius and Tager, they're clearly very similar
They're
characters.
so similar, him with his giant robot that he summons.
Okay, it looks like you're still doing moves that involve using the arms from the thing when you have the same summon.
Yeah. Oh wow, I just got a trophy for exhausting that thing. Well, in any case, let's jump out of here and show off a bit of the different modes. For those who own Continuum Shift, this isn't going to be drastically different from that package. I'm going to real quick note the differences. Score Attack seems to be easier, because now they have Unlimited Mars mode. And Unlimited Mars mode is so ridiculously hard, I don't think I'm ever going to meet anyone who gets past the first character.
Wow.
Because I platinumed the first game, Calamity Trigger, and I can't get past the first character. Vita version, you have a versus mode. Only works versus CPU. You have online play and local multiplayer via ad hoc. Real quick, where is story? There we go. Going to story real quick.
Yeah, how is this story mode set up? Same way as last time?
Let me get to the menu so I can gesture while I inform. Okay, so Miss Light, Teach Me Miss Lychee has been separated, as you can see. It's over here. As you can also see, I'm not a Teach Me Miss Lychee person, so...
We aren't able to show them, like, if it's got the old and new ones on top of that?
It should have old and new. I'm not sure if it's going to have even newer new ones.
Because I would buy this for Teach Me Miss Lychee sections.
Just portable Teach Me Miss Lychee. Okay, so Calamity Trigger. You play this, and it is essentially the entire true story mode arc from Calamity Trigger. It's pretty cool in that for people who didn't play through Calamity Trigger or people who didn't play Calamity Trigger at all, this briefs them on the story a good bit. Then you jump into Continuum Shift, and then you jump into Ragna's mode in Continuum Shift. So Continuum Shift here is just the opening for this game. And then you go into Ragna's, and then it starts unlocking other people like Noelle, Taukaka, Rachel, Carl, and you play through them to unlock even more. And as we were mentioning before, Makoto, Valkenhayn, Platinum, and Relius all, you know.
Now, wait a second. Since there's a button for the continuum shift there, does that have its own set of playing through every character? Is that another...
No. That's just the opening. That's just the opening for this one,
Okay, I see. It's like an anime opening thing.
Yeah, that thing. Of course, you have your load menu to load your save points. And, yeah, that covers the modern differences. I'm not sure. I think this is new, the Military Academy chapter. And then the Sector 7 chapter. I think these are new chapters.
Sound new.
Pretty sure they're new. Not absolutely positive. So let's back up out of here.
You sure you don't want to show off how the story mode goes?
We can show it off for people who are new to the series. Yeah, I guess. Okay, let me jump in and see who I can play as. I don't think we want to show off Taokaka's story because that may deter people who want nice story. We got Noelle. And Carl, I'm going to use Noelle, because I can play as Noelle, even though she's been significantly nerfed since the first game.
It makes sense that this is being set up as sort of a way to tell the entire story of everything that's happened up till now.
Seriously, what is wrong with that man?
Yeah.
Because I've heard that they want to do BlazBlue 3 next. That is at least what they're saying.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have to say things like that to me.
Now, something I mentioned in another quick play, and probably the podcast, is you jump out of the game and you jump back in, that music gets way louder. You hear that?
That is weird.
So you'll have trouble hearing her.
I didn't. I know I didn't.
And this is a quiet song, too. So.
In my headphones are excellent at, differentiating instruments and layers and music and shit. So, if I were ever in any sort of condition to differentiate the music and her talking, this would be the ideal scenario, and even here I can't really. In any case, lots of character development, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna skip to the first battle, though.
But yeah, so...
It's like a visual novel.
Right, it's a visual novel.
And you can press a button to get the whole image. And
so if you're into dating sims, here you go.
If you have a Vita, you're into dating sims. Who are you kidding? And you can take away the text, and it's just them talking, and it's kind of hard to show that off after I showed off the glitch. So
yeah,
how do I?
I think that there's a.
Yeah, there is a button. I just forgot.
I think you hold triangle. Is that right? No.
Nope. Nope. It is a button, and I can't freaking.
L. R.
L and R. Oh my God, you're right.
I had to do a lot of scory skipping, I gotta say.
So then they make out. It's ultra sexy.
Sure
L's the text log in case you missed stuff, which we've missed everything. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, he doesn't have to say... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I don't think that they want to hear any more of our amazing voice acting skill. They got enough of that.
No, you can never get enough of that. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, this is spoilers, kind of, sort of. This is why I'm like, Seriously, I really wish I remembered. Man, I almost want to save to not have to deal with that. In any case. So yeah, you follow the stories of each characters, and it's interactive as you make decisions that take you along different branches, and sometimes losing, actually, is its own choice.
Yeah, so there are multiple endings for each character, right?
Yep, and some of which are joke endings.
The best endings.
The best endings, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be story, you get in a fight, and then you'll make a decision. The production values are really good with the full voice acting and whatnot. It's actually one of the best in the fighting game genre, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially considering that fighting game storylines have gone downhill a lot in this in recent gens.
I don't know that they've ever been good.
They've never been good. I'm not saying that, but they've, look at Soul Calibur. 4 and 5 are just total phone-ins.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, at least with Tekken and some Street Fighters would get actual endings, but that doesn't really give you much to get invested in, where this is actually a story.
Yeah, it's a story, and, it has an actual writer. Whoa.
What?
I know, totally crazy.
This is... I mean, sure, this is a bunch of anime cliches thrown together, but...
You know, honestly, on the scale of anime cliche story, this is rather low on cliches. Okay, so
Except when Bang shows up.
it's like talking to a wall. I need to calm him down, or I think it's time for a strategic withdrawal. You'll make a choice. It'll load for just a second, and then it'll continue the story in the way you have chosen. So that gives them an idea.
Yeah,
you can keep playing through until you get... There's one actual ending. I think they call it True End for each story mode. So you can play through to each of those, and it'll let you know how many of the stories you've unlocked percentage-wise back here. As this is popping up, I'll explain. There is a currency you get for everything you do in the game, and experience points. So you level up the game as you play any of the modes in it, and that is so appreciable. Because a lot of fighting games don't properly do that. I'll explain.
Okay.
I'll explain the money in a moment, but the levels, yeah. In any case, explaining that in a moment. So you see 63% here, and it's clear because I got his true ending, and then 15% here. So you know, lots of completionists. The completionists have a lot of things to do here,
like getting all the Miss Lychee modes.
Yeah, watching all the Teach Me Miss Lychees. That's definitely on the top of their list. Challenge mode for this game is pretty typical for a fighting game. You sit down with a character and do some combo that's pretty long, and then you win. And then you move on to the next challenge. And it just does that for each character, and there are about 15 per character.
And they start kind of easy and get to insanely hard?
Of course.
Okay.
They start at pretty easy, and then immediately go to pretty hard. And then from there they get to stupid hard. Abyss mode is a new mode for this game over Continuum Shift. We will jump straight into that. Dun, dun, dun.
One day.
Okay, so you got level 1, 2, and 3, and perhaps more unlockable. I don't know, I haven't spent much time with this, but trophies tell me, and this description tells me, that this is probably the last of them. By the way, no touchscreen menu interface going on here. All D-pad and buttons.
Alright.
Which, you know, it wasn't designed for that in the first place, so understandable.
It would be pretty horrible on that first menu, because those buttons are all pretty tiny.
Yeah, they are slivers of buttons. Okay, so we are going to set out on easy. Hopefully this won't overwrite my quick save. I don't think it will. So you set out, and you select one character for the whole run. As I said before, I'm good as Tager. It'll tell you your max depth that you've made it with that character. So I'm going to select Iron Tiger. And next it'll bring me to a screen where I can select the item shop or begin. You spend your currency to up your stats in whichever way you want. As you can see, I have attack, defense, speed, and heat. And you can actually stack them as you see me doing. So I can buy multiple of the same type, and it'll just keep adding them all together to really up my stats.
Now, is there any other way to use the money you earn, or is this it?
I have not. I think this is it, because I have not run into another way. But let's check the gallery before I end this quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say gallery is something I always like in these, because a lot of times they'll have commentaries from actual designers and stuff.
Yeah. So SPs, they're all special little modifiers you get. This will gradually regenerate the HP over time, so I'll get that. Regenerates the heat gauge, don't want that. Armor grinder, slightly increases the amount of chip damage dealt. And Maze Walker's cool, it makes you go down in the abyss faster. I'll describe that in a bit. And then there are specific ones per character, which cost a lot of money, called, this one's Tager's Enhancement. It constantly charges his opponent with magnetism. You can only select 3. So that's the trick here. You can only select 3 of those to head in with.
Wait, but you can buy, like, multiple of the stat enhancements, but you can only select 3 of the stat enhancements? Is that what you're saying?
No, the stat enhancements are fine. The SPs are limited to 3, as you can see over here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I selected way more than 3 of the stat enhancements. Which it kept track of that on the right. And this cost me a good chunk of cash. For those who were keeping their eye up there, you saw that. And we begin. So this is easy. Easy takes us all the way down to level 100. Or it starts us at 90 for some reason. Probably has to do with my continue file. Sadly. So I guess we're only going to get one fight out of this. We're on easy, so they don't have stat modifiers. As you go up in difficulty, they will get more beefy and nasty. And as you go down into the abyss, they get more beefy and nasty. Basically, you start at 1, you get into a fight, and depending on how skilled you kill that other person, you go down deeper and deeper. So, if I killed this person in an especially awesome, technically speaking, fashion, you can actually see a count up at the top. It's hard for you and I to see, Bob, but I'm sure they can. It's sending me deeper and deeper as I do this. So, my next thing is going to be 98, I believe. So, let's go ahead and do that now. It'll tell me the number as I... Oh, okay. It's not
gonna tell you?
Nope. Told me at the end of that last match. You know, saying it in the upper right the whole time.
Right.
So, as you can see, the load times are better in the other modes. They aren't necessarily great.
Now, is there any sort of selection to how you go through this, or is it just pretty much runs you through?
You just keep running into random opponents and then going deeper and deeper. What just happened? Allow me to explain that. In the middle of your fight, it will say, here comes a new challenger, and this is an important battle. Why it does it this way, I don't know. This is one of my pet peeves, to be interrupted while I'm doing one task with another task. So it's a bit irritating to have my battle interrupted with another battle.
This guy actually kind of reminds me, they did that sort of thing in one of the Guilty Gears. I can't remember which one, but it was...
I remember seeing that.
Sometimes they'd come in and be like, oh, I'm the golden version of that guy.
And whip your ass.
Yeah, they'd be pretty hardcore at that point.
Yeah, he has an aura, so that's how you can be sure that you're having an important battle. Ooh. What was that?
But yeah, he seems pretty awesome. He's flying. Can you fly? I don't think so.
He's not really flying.
Oh, he's not?
No.
He just kind of looks like it?
He flies. He floats.
He floats.
He's floating. And
that has nothing to do with Zora, though. He was floating before I didn't see it, right?
Yep.
Alright. Does it still have the mode from the last game? I can't remember the name of it.
No, it doesn't have Legion mode.
Legion.
Abyss is the replacement for that.
That's really
so
weird.
At the end of these important battles, you can collect a stat, a special, or a reward. And these will always be random, and it'll let you know if you never collected it before. So I've never gotten Heat 2 before. I'll acquire that, and that'll add it to my repertoire of things I can buy going in. Oh. So now I can up my heat even more than before. So here we go. Conquest! I still don't know what she's saying. Or trying to say.
I think it's trying to say congratulations.
Congratulations! Yeah, so that's Abyss mode.
That's kind of weird that they don't have Legion, though, because that's nothing like Legion.
Yeah, that is quite different from Legion. I guess they're just gonna have different mode there every time they remake this?
I guess. Hopefully we're done remaking.
Right. And, yeah, that's basically the breakdown of this game. It has a good online mode and etc. It has the replay theater and the gallery.
Alright.
It's loading the gallery right now.
I gotta say, with the online mode, you have both local and actual.
Yes, with the internet, you have local.
Well, with wireless modes.
There's an online mode, and then there's local multiplayer, which I already went into. So yeah, we can spend our currency on this.
Huh. Now, were there things at the top that were unlocked?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, you unlock them in story mode, but there's some stuff at the bottom.
Okay.
And some of these unlock at certain levels. As you can see, this is 18, and I'm only level 8.
Alright, so that's what the level equates to. I was going to ask about that. Now, any of these have... What's the text at the very bottom say? Is that just like a description?
It says Arcade, Universal Ending Illustration 1.
Okay.
No. How would we bring up that
Well, if it had a commentary from someone, it would just have that.
It would just
instead of-
scroll over.
Right.
To that. Okay. Well, a lot of these are story.
Yeah, so it
things,
has to be
so-
not story mode things, like
Right.
what you just bought, maybe.
Let me go to the illustration contest. Let's see. I drew this one because I loved Rachel's words to Kokonoe. Her science has corrupted her art. For being an NPC, Kokonoe's involvement in the plot and her unique character are far beyond reach. So, yeah. So that's pretty neat that it did it for even the illustration contest.
Right.
But yeah, and of course you also have your sound type things over here.
Yes, that was the music in this one. Is there anything new that you've noticed?
There are a couple new songs for the accompanying levels.
Oh, okay. So there are new stages as well?
Yeah, there are like 2, maybe.
Alright.
So, something about this. Properly functions, it is like the only game... Oh, yeah, we're installing MotorStorm. Thanks, Vita. In any case, what I was trying to say is that this does proper custom soundtracks. So, when you play the music, it turns off the music in the game. And that's
and you can actually play music, unlike a lot of games, it seems.
Yeah. Thanks, publishers. So let me go ahead and boot that up. And I mean, you can take my word for it. Or... Nah, we're not doing Panic at the Disco. We're doing... Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. This is what I play Stardust to. This is what I play everything to.
You just don't know that Tears from King of Fighters
Is the best song
is the
ever.
best song ever. And the
Of
only
course.
song for doing quick plays.
Yeah, of course. There are some rear touchpad settings that you can change in here to turn on. Let me go ahead and... Okay, here we go. So, as you can see, it's cutting up the back into halves and quadrants. So you actually get 8 different inputs all along the back touchpad, which you can set yourself. I would never fathom using this.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just set one whole side to do something that's manageable. But even that sounds pretty
There
bad.
is another mode on this called the multiple input assignment. What it'll do is it'll take the left side and right side and make them 2 inputs, and then you can do stuff like that, where it's okay, make this my barrier burst.
I see.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
something.
interesting to have another button to do rapid cancels with, you know, because that's pretty hard to hit all 3 buttons at the same time on a controller or, you know, a D-pad mixed combo.
Right.
Right, so, I mean, it's interesting. I can't say I ever use it. And of course, as other BlazBlue games do, if they update this game with a patch, you can select the older patches, and you can go and buy different system voices.
Does it start with any or all purchasable?
It's all Sawashiro Miyuki, which is, you know, the system voice.
I'm surprised they actually put her name in.
Yeah. And if you go to the PlayStation Store, it'll tell you what the new stuff is over here.
Alright.
New stuff is Miss Lychee's System Voice Pack. A and B voices. Yeah. Okay, one moment. I gotta hear that. You can press a button to play how the voice sounds.
The wheel of fate is turning.
Ha!
The wheel of fate is turning. The wheel of fate is turning.
That's hilarious.
It's like they're in English class or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Have to repeat it multiple times.
The wheel of fate is turning. The wheel of fate is turning.
What?
Okay, I think we're done here. Thanks for checking out this quick play from GigaBoots.com. Fuck this!
For video reviews, quick plays, top 8s, and more, go to GigaBoots.com.